Hey, it's Mike from Grab a Stack of Rock. Welcome to tonight's show. This is kind of a bonus episode to 50 Years of Iron Maiden. Back on June 16th of 2023, Aaron from the Keeps Me Alive came on board with Harrison the Mad Metal Man and myself, and we did a special episode on my Maiden vinyl collection. A lot of stuff that you haven't seen before on 50 Years of Iron Maiden, or at least not in this much depth. Harrison had a great CD collection to show. Aaron had some real oddities, including an Iron Maiden menu and a really nice collection of Trooper beer bottle caps in mint condition. So this was a really fun episode. Now, just for context, my wife Jen, who has epilepsy, had a seizure that night, and I'm constantly checking my phone for updates from her because she insisted that the show go on. That's just the way she rolls. That's why we went on that night, and that's why we have this extra special bonus episode to 50 Years of Iron Maiden. Enjoy. Mad Metal Man.
Evening, Lorraine.
Good evening. How are you? Where's Mr. Books? Thank you, Mike, for watching. We're going to get on to the vinyl now. We're going to bring on Aaron, and we're going to get on with the Iron Maiden. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you guys?
Great. Long time no see.
Long time no see. Very good to see you, Harrison. I've missed you guys.
Yeah.
Missed you too, man.
Now, point of order. I have another light right here.
Okay, I see it.
But when I turn it on, it kind of washes out.
Yeah, just leave it off.
Yeah, okay. You get that glow off my head.
So I understand that you don't have like a heck of a lot of Iron Maiden to show off tonight, but you're just happy to hang out.
I have my son to thank for a couple of cool things I forgot I had.
Okay, cool.
And there was something that maybe when someone else is talking, there's one more place I can look, but I have something else, maybe, if I can find it. But,
so you missed the first 5 minutes. I did a pre-show thing here.
Okay.
We have a situation tonight. The only reason that I am here tonight is because Jen kind of preferred that I go live rather than not. She's in the hospital right now. She had a seizure and a bad fall. They're doing a CT scan on her face right now to make sure her jaw isn't broken. So like I said, the only reason I'm here tonight is because she kind of preferred that I go live rather than cancel again, because she hates when I cancel on her because of her. So I may be in and out. I may be leaving you with Harrison for a bit here and there.
Yeah.
But for now, we're going to start with Harrison. We're going to do the same thing we normally do. We'll do a round. Yep. We're going to start with Harrison. I don't know if you're going to do an unboxing or if you're going to start with the Maiden.
I already unboxed. So for round 1 of 3, it's sort of like newer things. So I just recently picked up.
Oh, yeah. I love that album so much.
It's a really, really, really good album.
My favorite of the 6 reunion era Iron Maiden albums, right there. My favorite.
Oh, yeah.
6, Brave, yeah. Yeah, there's 6 now. My favorite's Book of Souls, but this comes in second place. Yeah. This one, yeah, really, really good.
Don't make me rank them.
Oh, yeah, I can't rank Maiden albums. I have to put them in tiers because, you rank them and then suddenly, like, the debuts, like, 3 notches down.
You
from
do
where
have to
wanted
rank
it.
them in tiers. That's you know what? There's a post in this that we can discuss later.
Yeah, it's just because they're just so many of them are so good. But yeah, if there was ever a reunion album to play entirely live, this was it.
Mm-hmm.
Shame we
And I
don't
got the
have a
bootleg
live album from it. Yeah, now the only Maiden studio album I'm missing is Dance of Death and Brave New World. Oh, and Final Frontier. No, I have Brave New World. It's Dance of Death and Final Frontier.
Interesting. And you know what? I've been listening to Final Frontier a lot lately, and it is. I used to kind of consider it one of the lower rungs, but now it's just. I'm loving it so much more. Mother of Mercy, what a chorus! And Where the Wild Wind Blows. My God, those are 2 great songs just right there that have been speaking to me lately.
Yeah.
And that
I remember. Sorry,
I was just going to say, and that leaves off Coming Home, which just honestly, Final Frontier is really speaking to me these days.
Yeah, I remember when I first heard it when I was just getting into Maiden, and I remember only liking about half of it and finding the other half boring, but I reckon it's about high time for a revisit.
Right, exactly. I liked about half of it and found half of it boring, but now I don't know, like Maiden albums are the kind of thing where if you leave them alone for a few years in some cases, and you come back to them, and I've done this with Book of Souls and Senjutsu, and all these albums are speaking to me in different ways than they did originally. And actually, I haven't talked about this yet, and I'm monopolizing my own show, I realize. I haven't talked about this yet, but on the weekend, I chose the Book of Souls to drive to the cottage.
Nice.
And Jen was digging it.
Yeah.
And then we got to Empire of the Clouds.
Yeah.
And we started talking about it. And then I decided after that to put on the interview track, what's called Maiden Voyage, I think it's called. From the vinyl,
from the EP,
the singles, yeah.
And that's like another whole 22 minutes of Bruce and a little bit of Nico talking about the song and how it was composed and the history of the airship, the R101. And we're just listening to it mesmerized. And it's like, man, I married an Iron Maiden fan, or at least she married me and became an Iron Maiden fan. But I seem to remember also in 2006 was A Matter of Life and Death. Jen and I were freshly dating. We were in our first year of dating, and we'd gone to a party in Brampton. We were driving back to Kitchener, and Jen had a little bit too much to drink. And we're listening to A Matter of Life and Death in the car. And it might have been, for all I can remember, The Greater Good of God. But Jen goes, "Who are these guys?" I said, "It's Iron Maiden." And she's like, "This is amazing." And, we got married.
It was a sign.
It was a sign.
Book of Souls is my favorite Maiden album of the lot. Final Frontier just has it has this unique feeling to it. So yeah, I reckon it's time for a revisit. And I found that the Book of Souls live chapter as well felt more cohesive after a few years because the newer songs didn't stick out. It all felt like Maiden songs.
I gotta say, having seen the Book of Souls in person, yes.
Yes to all that.
Can confirm.
Can confirm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this one isn't new as such, but I didn't have anywhere else to put it. This is my copy of the first 10 years.
Nice.
Purgatory and Made in Japan. The ironic part here is that it's a Japanese edition, but it doesn't come with the bonus of Wrathchild. I know the original Japanese edition of Made in Japan didn't come with Wrathchild, but Japanese bonus tracks are a thing. You should have put it on here, Maiden.
Yes. Still, I mean, it's a Japanese version, which is always, in my opinion, more desirable than a domestic. And I have the entire first 10 years box set on CD if we want to see that at some point later on in the show, but I don't think we'll need to.
I bought that 5 years ago or something. It was described by the seller as in good condition on eBay. And, it goes good, very good, excellent, and, acceptable under that. It was impeccable. It was in new condition. I couldn't even tell that it was played. It was a really good pickup, that one.
Hey, Jex Russell in the house. Jex, this is your first time meeting Mr. Books, Aaron Stewart. Say hello.
Hi, Jex.
Mr. Books is a linchpin of the community.
He is the lynch. You know what? There's a whole story here, Jex. We'll talk. And by all means, Jex, if you want to jump on.
We are in hallowed company.
You feel free if you want to jump on, man.
Oh, dear. That sounds like pressure.
Anyway.
And for the very last one for this round, these aren't new pickups per se, but they are quite relevant to what Maiden are doing at the moment.
Yep. Somewhere back on tour.
Yeah. And what I can say is that it's a testament to the quality of some of the individual songs on Senjutsu that I am as excited to hear Days of Future Past and Hell on Earth live as I am to hear Caught Somewhere in Time and Stranger in a Strange Land.
It's amazing.
There we go.
Ooh.
This is my only Iron Maiden reissue so far. I'd like to have a complete album set of all the records from the debut to Seventh Son. Whether original or reissue, it doesn't matter to me, but I think my only original is Peace of Mind and Live After Death. So this is a nice reissue. I love it. I love this album. This is like my high school Maiden album.
It's a really tough choice for me for my favorite Maiden 80s album between the debut, this one, and Seventh Son. I know that's half of their 80s albums. That's how. That's
They
just
can't
how
go wrong with any of their 80s albums, in my opinion. But for artwork, I mean, I'm a sucker for the cyberpunk thing. I'm a sucker for Blade Runner.
Yeah. I love it too.
I love this art. I've loved it since day one when it came out. I'm sorry for stealing your turn here. So,
oh no, it's fine.
When
Better
it came out,
blah 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 blah. Off to you.
For us, in our neighborhood, our group of guys, the way that we saw a lot of new stuff was either in magazines on the shelves or on Much Music on the Power Hour. So it was the Wasted Years video that showed us a lot of this new artwork, and the fact that they were kind of going sci-fi, Blade Runner-esque. It was like, yes, Maiden are going there. And it suited the music.
Yeah, we've done our whole Maiden art show. Like, there's so many great albums. But,
yeah,
I remember reading that how there's basically the band appear on the back, and that the band weren't entirely happy with the likeness. But I don't know, if I pick up an album with Iron Maiden on it and I flip it around to see five guys on the back, I'm pretty sure I can tell that's Iron Maiden. I don't think the likeness is too
I don't
bad.
think they're great likenesses, my friend. But I mean, I remember we had to guess who was who in the back cover. We weren't sure when we were kids. We could tell who Harris was from the hair, and Bruce was obvious, but then it kind of got dicey around Nico.
Always gets dicey around him.
He's a funny guy, though.
Yeah.
I love listening to him talk.
The Listen with Nicos are great on the 10 Years singles stuff.
Yeah, they are. They're fantastic. I strangely forgot to rip all of those to my computer, so that's an oversight that I must take care of.
There's actually a Listen with Nico Part 11 as well on the
I know
US edition of No Prayer for the Dying, which is quite rare.
Yeah, I don't have that. I do not have that.
Neither. But that is my first round.
Cool.
I will pass it over to Aaron now.
Oh dear. So you showed you. First of all, I just want to say how much fun this is. It's been a long time since
it has.
This is
really great to have you back.
Yeah. I'm honored. I'm honored to be here. If anybody wonders why I'm sort of moving around a lot, I now have a standing desk, and I am rather a kinetic person to begin with.
And
so
that's cool.
I apologize if I'm making anybody seasick, or if the monkey in the bottom box is doing funny things. That's me, and I apologize.
That reminds me. I don't know if anyone noticed, but I remember you did a post a while back on that standing desk, and you included a picture, didn't you?
Yeah, it's a Home Depot workbench.
I used that picture to model the desk that Mr. Books uses in the KMA Eastern offices in the latest episode of T-Bone Man. You can see he's standing at it. It's the same color with the black legs. And there's books
attention to detail. What was I saying earlier, Harrison? You're taking your art to a new level.
It's amazing. Yeah. And the reason I bought this instead is because I don't know if you guys have ever been in the market for a standing desk. They are super expensive, especially if you want one that's motorized that you can raise up and down. They can be like $1,000, and they all are wobbly. And I didn't want to put my computer on a thing that wobbled, because I am a rather kinetic person and I'm likely to knock it over. So
especially on a big sale like Mac.
Yeah, this is So this is a hard maple top, 6 feet wide. So there goes Mike.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Well, you get to be me now. If you look in the background, and I get to be Mike now.
oh, cool.
Because there's
Okay,
our Lego
well, you do a
figures
better
back there.
impression of him than me. So you showed an album that wasn't Maiden, just as a new release that you picked up.
Yeah.
Now I've got a new one that I just posted about, and I don't know. I just want to spread the word about this album because I posted about it recently on the KMA. And any guitar players out there, I'm sure if you're watching YouTube, you know who Tom Bukovac is. He's a Nashville session guy. He's been on like 500 records. He's toured with Heart, and he's toured with all kinds of people, Tom Petty and all kinds of stuff. He is a master player, and his touch and his feel are amazing. So I just wanted to once again shout out Tom Bukovac's Plexi Soul, which I picked up. It is amazing. And the playing is to die for. Anybody who plays guitar, I haven't even opened this yet. I have it on the computer. But so for the Maiden stuff,
I mean, Aaron, feel free. Sorry to interrupt, but feel free to show off any new releases or anything you've got as well, because the next time you're on, you'll be showing off the next album anyway.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's any other new ones. Oh, this one's for Mike. This one's for Mike. He's not even here.
You know, he had to drop out again.
Yeah, that's okay.
Reminds me of the old Lego Star Wars games. Drop in, drop out.
So what I will do then is I will just show this for anybody who wanted to see.
That's a good one.
This is my vinyl of the Record Store Day Empire of the Clouds. Boy, I blanked on the name.
I can still hear you guys when I'm dropped out, by the way.
Oh, okay. This is my vinyl of that.
Yes, that's the one I was talking about that we played on in the car. Maiden Voyage.
There's Maiden Voyage. The story behind Empire of the Clouds.
That's the one. That's the one.
So this is sort of I try not to breathe on this too much. It's in a plastic baggie and everything. But this one I wanted to show Mike. He has seen a picture of it, but not.
I presume he's never heard the demo of it, even though he's seen the picture.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I was curious about that.
Yes. So Sloan had an album, and I think it was like 2006, and it was called Never Hear the End of It. And this is a 2023 release. They re-released the album and then on vinyl, and then they put this out, which is a double 7-inch. So it has demos.
Nice.
4 songs. There's 4 sides. So it's For the End of the Race. It's Not the End of the World. The Best Part of Your Life in 4 Seasons. Demos and that kind of thing. So I collect all the Sloan because Sloan makes Aaron happy. And
that's not an easy collection to really. I mean, they've got a lot of stuff that's hard to find from the early years.
I have it all right here. Except for like the early 7 inches. Like I don't have.
Yeah, I'm talking about Rhodes Jam.
Yeah, I don't have that.
That's like $100, or at least it used to be. Hey, Aaron.
Yeah, I would pay that.
Aaron.
Yes.
You like people.
Oh, I'm not a misanthrope at all. Why? What do you got?
I would like to introduce you to Jex Russell from Jex Russell's Vinyl World.
Hello.
Who decided to stop by.
Nice.
Sweet couch, man.
You like it?
Yeah, I think we had that one in the 70s.
Now you are new to me. It's been so long since I've been on here.
Yes, well,
an origin story.
Well, you'll be reading his origin story in T-Bone Man very soon. But I don't know, when did we first get in touch? It was through Deke. It was through Deke and Tim, really. Wow. Through Deke and Tim.
Yeah, earlier this year, Mike and I got in touch, and the rest is history. So I've seen the old show. So I've seen you before, Aaron. But this is our first time meeting.
Sorry for your luck.
Anyway, I just wanted to say hi. I don't want to crash the party. I just
not at all. It's good to meet you.
And I see some cool Maiden stuff. Enjoying.
Harrison, he shaved, eh?
Yes. Not impressed.
I'm bringing back the beard. Clean canvas to bring back the beard.
The nice thing is that no matter what Lego pieces Harrison has available, chances are he can mix and match and make some kind of version of you that we have seen on the show.
Yeah. I think I got somewhere between 300 and 400 minifigures built, and just lots more parts. It's 20 years worth of Lego.
That's seriously. Well, that explains why.
Yeah, you know these like large grey base plates. They're like 48 by 48 studs. I like line up minifigures on them, and you can get like 12 across, and I think you can get like 14 down or something. I've got 2 of them completely filled.
My son is coming over to play. Lego is his favorite.
I don't know if you can see, but I have a bit of a storage problem at the moment because I'm working on a couple builds. That's why that's just covered in Lego as well. Like I was working on the Invisible Hand and a few other things. And then, I've got like some Lord of the Rings up there. I've got an Angry Octopus back there on Akator, which isn't Lego, but it's funny. Anyway, I'll stop.
That's cool. No.
Right on.
Lego I hear about it all the time in this house.
Oh, you're going to be hearing about it a lot more from this house. Because if you've been keeping up with recent events, Aaron, my wife has become a Lego maniac, and we're having a great old time.
Oh, cool. Yeah, my son has stated, he's 14, and he stated more than once that it's one of his goals, I guess. If you ask him what he wants to be, he wants to go be a designer for Lego.
Can't blame him.
He wants to go live in Denmark or wherever they are and go do that. So I said, hey.
It's a good goal. That's a good goal.
All of your dreams, man. I'll go visit
that
you.
At all.
We'll see. Either that or he'll be the starting keeper for Real Madrid. I don't know. One or the other.
So close.
I know, right?
There's no reason he can't do both.
Yeah.
I don't want to slow down your show, guys. I'm gonna be brief, but I brought a little show and tell real quick. Keeping up with the theme. Yeah. I don't have much Rare Maiden. But I thought I do have the Made in England '88, the original VHS.
Oh, I had that on PAL. On PAL.
Oh no, mine's NTSC.
I had to pay to get mine converted.
No, but it's in storage. So I'm like, I can't show that. But the only other concert I have is
that's rare.
Death on the Road.
Nice.
I've never seen that.
That is proper rare.
That is rare.
Is it? I didn't know.
It's out of print. For some reason,
it was never printed in large numbers in the first place.
Yeah, for some reason, Death on the Road and Rock in Rio were just let it go out of print, and even stuff like Flight 666 and the early days Visions of the Beast, they're starting to get. You don't find them everywhere.
But that one had a much more limited release.
Oh, yes,
I think it's 3 discs.
So Rex, Jex, where do you live and where do you keep your keys?
I'm on the East Coast of Canada. That's all.
Right on, by.
I'm going to show you. Let's see. I'll show you the disc. Yeah, it is a 3-discer.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Now, if you got the first edition of that, I think they mislabeled the stereo and the 5.1.
Correct.
Oh.
But like, who cares if there's a misprint? As long as you got the music, right? That to me doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know a lot of things about a lot of Maiden things because that's a story. It's a long story. I don't want to derail things, so I'll save it for another time.
That's wicked, Jex. That's something that none of us have.
Yeah.
Really? I didn't realize it was so rare. I found this at a video store that was getting rid of it a few years back, maybe like 5-6 years ago. And I thought, yeah, sure, Maiden concert, why not? But now you guys are making me really happy knowing it's how rare it is. I had no idea.
One of my coworkers did loan me the discs to watch because he had it, so I technically am borrowing it. Oh, that's an Alice Cooper bootleg he also loaned me.
Oh, cool.
I was going to say, that looks nothing like mine.
I was going to say, that's not Iron Maiden. That says it's
Alice Cooper. That's The Eyes of Alice Cooper, Massey Hall, Toronto, 30th of the 10th, 03.
Local show.
Massey Hall would be a good place to see him.
Yeah. I've seen him twice.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well
I'll leave you two guys. I just wanted to
take care. Thanks for stopping by with your stack of Maidens.
Here, very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Aaron. Good to see you again, Harrison.
Yep.
Take care, Mike.
Ciao. Have a good one, buddy.
That's cool.
There you go. We make new friends. New friends.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, Jex is an amazing guy. I dare say he's a better co-host than me. But...
Here's a question for you. You said, was it Dance of Death you don't have?
Yeah, and Final Frontier.
Okay, so now it's just you don't have the album at all, or are there special editions you're looking for?
No, I just don't have Dance of Death, and I don't have Final Frontier. It would be cool to get the Mission edition of Final Frontier or whatever that was, but I'm not particularly fussed which edition of Dance of Death or Final Frontier. Partly because Maiden don't really do special editions of their albums with exclusive music. Like with Senjutsu and with the last live album, they did their deluxe edition, but it's just a book with extra pictures, which, I mean, it's cool, but I'm not paying like the extra for nothing extra. Plus, then I can't fit the damn book with the rest of my CDs. Yeah, I just they're just not albums that I've been, possessed with the urge to like seek out. I sort of I'll grab them when I see them.
All right, I figured I'd start with smaller things rather than 12-inch vinyl. So you've already seen the Clairvoyant single, which I incidentally also have on 12-inch vinyl. Harrison, do you want to do the close-ups?
Yes.
Ooh,
that's
great.
I can't actually get to you. Oh, there we are. Sorry. The UI was fighting me.
Now you can see here there's only one B-side.
What a shape. That's really cool.
Yeah. I was not a serious fan of the whole disembodied head Eddie aesthetic that they were going for on the Seventh Son era, but it made for some pretty trippy artwork.
I'm pretty sure that was a Derek choice, so he wouldn't have to draw as much.
He specifically said that he was getting really sick and tired of drawing Eddies that were constantly like killing people and axes through heads.
It's different. Thing is, he got really fed up with painting normal sort of Eddies, with axes in people's heads and stuff like that, and
It does get tedious every once in a while.
So he threw a real wobbler, and he said, "I'm an artist," So we went there. Well, okay, maybe.
I don't know what these things are symbolizing, but there's Eddie with.
I think it might be symbolizing speak evil, see evil, hear evil.
Well, that's a very good.
I jest.
That works, man. That works. Anyway, there's the Clairvoyant for you, and these are in no particular order. This next one is red colored vinyl, Number of the Beast reissue single.
Ooh,
so nice.
Ooh, yeah, it's got an inner poster. Anyway, this has 2 tracks: Number of the Beast original and Number of the Beast live at Brixton 02. Nice little Eddie there. Got tour dates on the back. And like I said, there's a poster thingy in here. Let's see. I don't usually unfold these things, but we'll do this for Grab a Stack of Rock. And why? Oh, wow, it's a calendar. It's a 2005 calendar.
But I am listening.
This may never have been opened before, for all I know. This may be the first time it's ever been opened.
I'm sure someone somewhere would pay a lot of money for that.
Yeah, well, it's not for sale, as I'm proud to proclaim on all my stuff on my site. None of it's for sale.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this of course has the exclusive track, The Number of the Beast live, Brixton 02, and why not? Dare I say, why not? Now, here's another reissue single. When I say reissue single, they're really not, because they had new live material on them. And this is the highly sought after The Trooper.
Nice.
And this one has Another Life live in 2005, which Harrison, you would know all the details on that. How rarely that was played with Bruce.
Yeah. No, Beast over Hammersmith and the Early Days tour, I think, is the only times Bruce ever did that one live.
Right. Yeah. Oh, it's Grant Arthur in the house. Hello, Grant. How are you tonight, sir?
It's a bit odd with these, with like this early 2000s and with their retrospective tours, because I think they did a retrospective tour in like the early 2000s around Dance of Death, like right before Dance of Death. And then I think they did another one when the Early Days came out. And
you can even consider Ed Hunter to be a...
oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah. Like really, Ed Hunter's really the first one.
Speaking of Ed Hunter, that was the last time we heard Stranger in a Strange Land live.
Until now.
Yeah, and it's always fun to hear that one live because Stranger in a Strange Land is one of the only 5 Iron Maiden songs that fades out. So they have to find a different way to end it.
Yes, you're right there. Yes, that always struck me as unusual that it faded out. Out of the Silent Planet, 7-inch single. The B-side on this one is Aces High. But I believe that's also on the 12-inch.
Speaking of Out of the Silent Planet, coincidentally, is that another one of the ones that fades out, or am I just misremembering?
No, out of the silent planet we are. It's not really a fade out.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Oh, this next one's kind of a cheat. It's not vinyl, but it's packaged like vinyl. This is a real treasure. I bet not many people know it exists. From the aforementioned Final Frontier album.
Oh yeah.
Love that artwork.
That's amazing.
And inside is actually the promo CD single.
Oh.
And a little sort of fact sheet, I think, for the radio to play and read. Your typical information. Release date, Iron Maiden's Final Frontier, Monday, 16th August. 17th August in the USA. New album artwork has just been unveiled to their website, ironmaiden.com. It was illustrated by Melvin Grant. Blah, 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 blah. ironmaiden.com, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, there's tons of stuff there to read. I'm not going to read it. You can acquire your own copy if you like on the Discogs, perhaps. But Iron Maiden, El Dorado from the Final Frontier album. Isn't that gorgeous?
Oh, that's brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Just if I may sit on Final Frontier a little bit, what are your thoughts on the Eddie on the artwork? Because I know it was very controversial.
Not a fan personally, but it's an alien aesthetic, I like that kind of thing in general.
I think it made for one of the best on-stage backs Eddies because it wasn't just the head that came up. You also got the hands as well, so it looked more complete.
$10.
Yes, that's a cool one. That is.
$10. $10. B-side on this one is I'm a Mover.
The other single artwork is better, but that one's really cool still because of that.
And you can tell this is their Christmas single because Happy New Beer. Actually, I can read it better this way. Have a kin great one. Happy New What's It from Nico.
That's Nico.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from Steve Harris. So, you can see in the UK, Christmas singles are a big deal. But that would be what this was. Bring your daughter to the slaughter from the No Prayer for the Dying album. And I have another vintage single next. Now, here's a weird story here is that this single originally wasn't mine. My sister bought this. I don't know why. But she had great taste in music at one point. And she bought Run to the Hills by Iron Maiden, featuring Total Eclipse on the B-side, which Steve Harris now has resurrected to the album proper, like he regretted and always wished he had.
I just hate the fact that he dropped Gangland for it instead of Invaders.
You don't drop a song. If anything, you stick it on there. Oh, hey, Grant.
Yeah.
Grant's been leaving comments.
Yeah, like Iron Maiden have to be the only artist that I know of that reissue their albums with less songs instead of bonus tracks, and it drives me up the wall.
Right, you could have just put it on there as an additional track, maybe after a pause at the end of the album or what have you. And finally, it's a 10-inch vinyl here.
Oh, that's a great song.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love that album. The Reincarnation of Benjamin Brieg, which is so good. It's so good, featuring previous unreleased B-sides and Crossed Guns sticker, which has never been stuck. The B-sides are The Trooper, Radio 1 Legends Session, and Run to the Hills, Radio 1 Legends. I know, we just don't have enough versions of those songs. We just don't.
One of those B-sides, I think, on one of these A Matter of Life and Death albums has, I think it's Brighter Than 1,000 Suns, live at Abbey Road.
On what?
Yeah, there's this version of Brighter Than 1,000 Suns they did live in this, I think, Abbey Road studio. It's quite rare. I don't know if it's on a B-side or if it's just a video, but I've definitely seen footage of it.
I would say that would have to be just a video because I would hope that one of the two of us would have heard about a physical copy of that by now.
I'll have to look into that and report back because it's been a while since I actually watched it. It wasn't even on YouTube. I had to go to Dailymotion.
Pay attention. Well, you know what, Grant? I agree. I'm not paying attention, but I also have a co-host that is not paying attention. So really,
I prefer to sell attention myself.
And I've had a pretty frickin' rough night.
Hey, was I supposed to be paying attention?
No, you can't control the comments.
What are we talking about?
I've got it in full screen. I
wasn't
can't see
putting
any comments.
I wasn't putting Grant's comments on the screen, and Harrison's negligent in his screen.
I'm in full screen.
Yeah, it means you're being negligent in your duties, in my opinion. But that's okay. I
need a pay rise.
I'm not going to be too too hard on you tonight.
That wasn't in the job description.
I feel like I want to show off a few more, but okay. You know what?
You'll have a couple more rounds.
Story time. So I got this. Would have been summer of 85, and I got it at the record store in Kincardine, Ontario, as a birthday gift for my best friend Bob. Turned out Bob already had it, so I get to keep Peace of Mind. And I remember this album. Sorry,
you did that on purpose, I'm sure. Is that what albums did he have? I'm joking.
I thought that he needed Peace of Mind, but with a lot of stuff, with gifts, with friends, I had backup plans. Like, if he has it, I'm keeping it, you know? I wasn't really collecting vinyl back then. I was more cassette, but, you know, it wasn't a big deal to have it on vinyl versus cassette, especially when it's Iron Maiden, because, you know, I love the disembodied hand holding the Derek Riggs logo. And I loved that all these Iron Maiden albums had like biblical quotes on them back then. Loved that stuff. I loved still, we refer to Martin Birch as Black Knight Birch, you know, because of this album. Of all the albums that he had, with all the nicknames that he's had on all these Iron Maiden, and I think even Deep Purple albums, he had nicknames on all of them. The name that stuck the most is Black Knight Birch. My buddy Bob and I still call him Black Knight Birch because of this album.
There you go.
And then you open it up. And I mean, we stared at, you can see how well loved this is, you know, these lyrics have been read and read and reread and reread, and the pictures have been gazed upon. But what we loved here is you actually get a picture, and I wish it would focus properly, but there's Martin Black Knight Birch and the very seldomly photographed Derek Riggs, Dr. Death Derek Riggs. Martin Popoff just posted a picture of him with Derek Riggs recently. Well, it wasn't a recent picture, but he just posted the picture. It was pretty cool. Anyway, it was cool to me. It's like, there's Black Knight Birch. He's right there. He's a person, you know? I didn't know what a record producer was back then. I knew what Derek Riggs did. I didn't know what Black Knight Birch did. I knew that he was kind of in charge of things. Didn't know what record producers did back then, though. And on the other side, I love this picture.
Oh, yeah.
They're literally sitting down to eat a piece of mind.
We're going to see that picture again.
And what I love most about this picture is Adrian Smith. He looks like he's going to be sick. He literally looks like he's going to be sick.
Look at Steve looking at it. He doesn't
Steve doesn't look hungry. Dave kind of like looks more curious than anything else. Nico's like, yeah, I'll have a go at that. Sure, why not? And Bruce is just like, don't fuck with me. I've got a knife with an apple stuck to the tip of it, with a bite taken out of it. You know, I'm a badass. You know, the guy's like 5 foot tall, but doesn't he look like a badass? Man, so many.
Can you just put that up again? I think looking at Steve Arms, that's before he got tattoos on him.
Yes, it is. Look, and same with the other guys too, Nico.
Yeah,
well, you can't see, but back then they didn't have that. If you look at pictures of them,
Dave didn't either. I find it interesting that Dave has tattoos because he's one of the quieter ones in the band.
I find it interesting that Steve Harris is best friends with Andy Curran, who sang "No tattoos, gotta stay cool. My mama never raised no fool. Took one look at the skin on my back, I nearly gave her a heart attack." Anyway, I think that's it for my turn. I'm going to take a break because Jen has just texted me again. So, Harrison, you go ahead.
All right, we're about to lose all the viewers now because I'm going to the Blaze Bayley era and I'm not sparing any out.
Hey, bye. No.
Thank you. I can actually remove you if you like.
No, it's fine. I'm kidding.
I jest as well.
Go ahead. No, please, go.
So this first one was shown off not too long ago, but I like it. This is the Japanese version of the X Factor. You can't tell it's the Japanese by looking at this front, but if you look at the side,
Yep.
you can see that it's the Japanese writing. And then on the back is the same angle. But so this is in one of those fat CD cases. I love these fat CD cases.
Yes.
And you've got the main album, obviously. And then you've got a bonus disc with 3 songs that were basically offcuts from. Oh, you can see Unicron in the reflection of the disc.
Nice.
Anyway, these 3 songs were basically offcuts from the X Factor. They're quite lively and rocking compared to the rest of the songs on there, and they were previously available on a selection of B-sides. But this is the only place that you can get. It's upside down, so let me just. This is the only place that you can get "I Live My Way" on CD.
Okay. Well done.
Yeah. And I like these songs very much, so that's why I bought this.
Well, yeah.
Now, from the X Factor, this is a bootleg. Around about 2020, there was this very odd shift in bootlegs because suddenly all these radio broadcast bootlegs just started getting uploaded to the topic channels of artists on YouTube. And then Amazon Amazon themselves just sold this bootleg from the X Factor. It's from Israel 1990. Pardon?
I got to look that up.
Yeah. It's from Israel 1995. It doesn't have the full show, but it's got great versions of Man on the Edge. It's got the best version I've ever heard Blaze do of Wrathchild. At the very end, he lets out this ungodly scream that makes me think, well, why couldn't you do that more often? It's got, Heaven Can Wait, Lord of the Flies, Fortunes of War. It's got Number of the Beast and Hallowed, which, it is what it is. But it's got this version of The Trooper. Now, Blaze obviously didn't do The Trooper very well, but every other member of this band is like firing on like 11 out of 10 cylinders. It's such an energetic, such a really good rendition. I listened to this version just to hear the rest of the band, the instrumentship. The whole version just sounds so alive and energetic. And at the very end of it, Blaze thanks the crowd for a great night. And if that version of The Trooper is anything to go by, they had a really good night. And then you have 2 interviews, part 1, part 2, from 1995. They're from this time period, I think just before the first album was released, or either just after it was released and just before they went on tour. And it's this really unique time period because there's this optimism that they never really had again after that. It's a sad and nostalgic look back at this time period that was optimistic basically, which sadly was not. Now I have another bootleg. You've seen this one before. This is incredibly rare. It's a soundboard recording of the main set from their Brazil 1996, and this is my favorite show from the X Factor. Ironically, they mistitle some of the names here. You've got Man on the Edge is Falling Down. Blood on the World's Hands is Out of Control. Sign of the Cross is called The Name of the Rose. But yeah, I'm really happy to get that.
Out of Control. So they, instead of taking one line of the song, which is Blood on the World's Hand, they just randomly chose another line of the song, which actually goes, he's out of control.
Or it's out of control. One of the two. It might change. All right. Now, this one I teased a little while back, but I have finally acquired the Grail item that is.
Yay!
I got that.
The 3D cover of. Funny, I call these things Grail items, but it turns out when you have a job and a Discogs account, the definition of Grail item changes a lot.
Yes.
But this is one of my favorite pieces of Maiden artwork, and I'm a huge sucker for the lenticular design of things. Lenticular is like, if you want to get me to buy something, put a lenticular cover on it, and it'll be hard to resist. But so I'm really glad to have this.
That's awesome. And I remember the message that said, please happily remove that from the Yes.
Yes, it turns out that most of my trips to the Grail list these days are to tell you to remove things from it, which is nice, but I might have to update it for your upcoming trip. And now, this isn't the Blaze area, but I didn't know where else to put it. It's immediately after. It's a CD single of Out of the Silent Planet.
Oh, nice.
Which I bought for the B-sides of the 2 live tracks from the Ed Hunter tour, because the Ed Hunter tour is one of my favorite Iron Maiden set lists, and we need a full live album. ASAP from it.
Yeah. Hey, are you listening, Maiden?
They never listen, Aaron.
Yeah.
Oh, well, now I'm here. They should be.
Yeah, we should
That's
get Andy Curran to just whisper in Steve's ear.
Is that the same 2 live tracks that I have?
Yeah, it'll be the same as on your CD single. One of them is on Best of the B-Sides.
Okay, well then if you're done, Harrison.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I have my son to thank for this round because he reminded me I even have these. I haven't had a drink since 2015, but I collected
Nah.
the Maiden beers just for the bottles. There's nothing in here. So that's the Trooper beer.
Those are beautiful. They're so nice.
And
I've got one of those.
Just their cap. Anyway, and then this one is the red and the black. It's a porter. And it just had a black top. And then the last one is the 666. And it's a limited edition. I don't know what that means, but it also had a Trooper cap. Now, if you keep me on big, some of them, and I don't remember which, and I don't know, I have 6 of them here. I don't know if that's all of them. I remember trying to collect as many as I could. I'll hold them up 2 at a time. I collected the other caps.
Oh, okay. Let's see them then.
Oh, yeah. So first of all, they are kept in this wonderful mug that is the Second Breakfast Club.
The Hobbits.
They're Hobbits.
That's great. That's great.
This was a gift from my lovely wife, so I thank her for that.
Love it.
Yeah, they're the Second Breakfast Club. Now, so these are other caps that came with the Maiden beers. I don't know if you can see these.
Yep. I can see
Somewhere
them.
in Time and Killers, by the look of it.
Yep. So there's those 2. Sorry for my hands.
No, it's all good. That would actually make a good thumbnail for the YouTube.
If you put them over your eyes.
Yeah. Maybe not. Maybe not. No one's going to click that. No one's going to click that.
Okay, so these are the
Add a lens flare to his forehead.
No.
How do I?
Yeah, that looks okay. So there's Somewhere in Time, Eddie, and looks like Aces High, Eddie. With
That's Power Slave. We had Somewhere in Time last time.
Oh, sorry. Yes, you're right. Yes.
Aces High. I think I can even see the bullet holes.
Yeah, you can see the bullet holes in the goggles. Yeah.
So those are different ones, and then the last 2 that I have for that are these 2.
Oh wow! Book Souls, one for each disc.
Yep.
Harrison, could that not have been Live After Death, Eddie?
I'm pretty sure it's Power Slave. I've seen like an artwork of like an expanded version of that where it's Eddie and he's got his like hands up and there's like the chain between them and he's getting struck by lightning.
Sorry, I threw
the he's got the chain in his mouth.
Which one was it you were interested in? This one?
No, that's Aces High.
The other one.
It's all good, Aaron.
Okay, here, I'm throwing them around now.
Oh, my neck is killing me too. Everything's freaking killing me.
So
I got a headache the size of the Titanic. Yeah, that's the one. And yeah, I think you can see chains in his mouth.
Yeah, and the bandages on his head.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I bought enough beers to get all the different caps. And I very, very carefully opened them so they didn't bend.
Yes, I've noticed that they're all immaculate.
Yeah, and so that was a project that took a while because I didn't drink very much even when I did have a imbibe. Now, the other thing that I have, and I don't have the first one. I don't have the first one of this, and it is called Lord Iffy Boat Race. But I have the which I found in She Said Boom on College Street in Toronto.
I think we've been there together once.
Yes, we have. And I paid.
That looks like it's in good condition.
Yeah.
I paid $10 for it.
Oh, that's a steal.
Yeah. So it's,
I'm just curious, Aaron, is there an artwork credit? I'm curious who did his artwork for this book. It doesn't look like anybody he's ever used anywhere else.
I'll have to look inside. Do you have
Yeah. Report back at some future time.
Do you have this book?
No.
Oh.
They're proper rare now.
Yeah.
Photo set by Parker Typesetting Service, Leicester, printed in Great Britain. McKay's of Sedgwick, London. No, doesn't say anything about the artwork. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah. Speaking of rare books, just quickly, if you all guys see the novelizations of Mad Max 1, 2, or 3, can I add those to the Grail list, please?
Okay.
Sounds like the kind of thing I would have seen frequently when I was a youngster, going into the whatever the bookstore at Stanley Park Mall was. W.H. Smith, probably.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm looking for Lord Iffy Boat Race. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
that's a used copy. It's not in the best shape. There's some pages that looks like somebody was eating when they were reading it. There's some smudgy on the pages, but
I thought you were about to say it looked like somebody was eating them.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But, that makes sense now.
Yeah, so I've got enough for one more, so you may as well go.
I'm going to go ahead.
Yeah.
We'll see how far we get.
Yeah. I got one more in me.
Do you want to do my close-up, Harrison, please? My beauty shot?
I don't know. Has the director allowed you to have a close-up?
You know what? I'm going to do it myself. Okay, there we go.
Make sure you get his best side.
Most of my Maiden vinyl, my vintage Maiden vinyl, came from my buddy Bob. So Peace of Mind was the first one. You know, it was kind of bought for him, but then I kept it. Then this one was from his personal collection, The Evil That Men Do. We loved the artwork on this one. That's wicked. Loved the back cover with Bruce with that sword.
Dave with the
guitar. Adrian looked really cool. And this thing folded out into a poster, which we just like, it was like when we saw this poster, because wait until you see what I'm talking about. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. And you might say, oh yeah, it's no big deal. But hey, Bob and I used to sit there and fantasize about seeing this very show right here.
Oh my goodness.
Like we're like, look at that. Iron Maiden and Kiss.
And David Lee Roth and Megadeth.
These Guns N' Roses guys.
It just keeps going.
We're a new band.
Halloween?
Just barely above Halloween.
Okay, who's Neil Kay? I have no idea.
He's a DJ, I believe.
Yeah, I think he's the DJ from the Soundhouse, or he was the one that the Soundhouse tapes got played at. I forgot what the name of the place was.
Yeah, there's some pictures, in-concert pictures, some more in-concert pictures, lots of in-concert pictures. I'm doing a terrible accent. I need to stop. So yeah, when Bob kind of got out of rock music, he gave me, didn't give me, he sold me, gave me first dibs on most of his collection. There was only one record that I failed to acquire from him. And where did I put the plastic sleeve? There it is. It was, I don't know if it was a bootleg or if it was a radio promo, but I suspect it was a bootleg. And it was a live EP, I believe, like a live single. And all I know is, I can't remember any of the tracks, but all I know is that it had like kind of like a tie-dyed look to it. It was like a tie-dyed picture disc. And couldn't tell you anything else about it. But he sold that to somebody who was willing to pay a lot of money. Much more than I had in my bank account, I think, at that time. But Chris Sard thinks that's a cool poster. Thank you, Chris Sard. And then we have, you have to have this on vinyl because contains 5 selections.
I've got it on vinyl too. It's up on my
This
wall.
is sort of like one of those musts for vinyl because, like Harrison said, it's hard to get Wrathchild on CD. Look at that. This record is dedicated to all the headbangers, earth dogs, and metal merchants around the world.
I like the bit where it's like a couple of overdubs, but who gives a shit or whatever.
Yeah, that's
under Innocent Exile.
Yeah.
Which I respect the fact that they admitted it.
Great artwork. I think that one I got later on in my life. This one came from the next door neighbor, George Balaz. It was part of the infamous trade that I made in Record Store Tales Part 3, My First Kiss. The trade in which I got Hotter Than Hell by Kiss from a neighbor named Ian Johnson that I went to school with, which I then retraded to my next door neighbor George Blaz, and I milked him for so many things, and this was one of them. I think I got a Flight of Icarus single out of him that I gave back to him. I traded back to him for something else at some point. I got a Black Sabbath Paranoid cassette. I got a Walkman. I got an Abbott and Costello record. My vinyl copy of Brave New World.
Ooh, yes.
I think that's one of the few Maiden artworks to have two artists involved.
Yes, it is. That I can think of. I was just glad that Bruce was back with Adrian. Like, that was, having Adrian back was more mind-blowing than Bruce. That was kind of like the one that nobody saw coming. Bruce coming back, sure. Okay. You could see that happening at some future time because, they were always greater together than they were apart. But Adrian coming back kind of came out of nowhere, didn't it? Nobody saw that coming. Another one from the Bob Shipper collection, The Clairvoyant. Rare kind of single in a way in that all the songs are live. Even the A side. That was a first, wasn't it?
Really, that's just more of a small EP.
Really, it's a live EP. But it has a nice gatefold. These Maiden singles, they really went all out. They took every single seriously, from the artwork to the packaging and, in as many cases as possible, giving the fans a little something extra. And we also always looked forward to finding the little Derek Riggs logo on every record. We always look forward to that. My personal favorite, Wasted Years.
Oh, yes.
Eddie looking into his time machine. Very much inspired by Doctor Who and Back to the Future. You can even see a TARDIS off there in the distance.
Is the one on the bottom left like inspired by Dune? Oh no, that's pyramids, isn't it?
You can see pyramids. You can see hell. You can see the burning. I think that Mountain of Crosses is somewhere from the Number of the Beast era. You can see a soccer field. Some dates.
Oh, look, the duet with NSYNC.
I noticed that too. And if you'll notice underneath that, it's pi 3.14159.
Oh, I like pi.
And I always thought Bruce was purposely trying to look like a goofball in this picture. Like, that's just not a good picture of Bruce at all. And there's there he is. Rod Smallwood.
We're on a mission from Rod.
And that is because, of course, Sheriff of Huddersfield is on this album. That always meant a lot to me, that single. Oh, here's another one from the Bob Shipper collection. Can I Play with Madness? The one where Eddie's brain is made of mustard. And we always like the B-sides on this one. Cover of Massacre by Thin Lizzy, and a really...
Massacre's not on Best of the B-sides. If you want that on CD, you have to get the first 10 years single.
Yeah, that's right. I threw this in as well because this album, not this particular copy of this album, was my first exposure to Iron Maiden. There they are, track 1, side 1, Run to the Hills.
Yep. I had that
it was cassette.
Yep.
It was cassette for me. And that's Record Store Tales Part 1, Run to the Hills. My discovery, really not my discovery of music, but my discovery of my love of music. Iron Maiden, Run to the Hills, this album, Masters of Metal. Has to be volume 2, though. Oh, here's a good one. Bruce Dickinson, All the Young Dudes, 12-inch. Darkness Be My Friend, studio acoustic track, and Sin City, AC/DC cover are the 2 B-sides.
Nice.
Bruce riding his hog there. Man of many talents. And on the front, there's the little sticker from the album, Tattooed Millionaire.
Huh.
Speaking of which, here's the title track. Tattooed Millionaire, featuring the B-sides, A Ballad of Mutt, which is quite funny, and Winds of Change. There's Yannick.
Not a Scorpions cover?
Not a Scorpions cover, my friend. And I don't think I'm going to... No, I don't think there's a... I thought maybe there was a poster, but I don't think we're going to go there. Oh, Out of the Silent Planet picture disc to accompany my 7-inch single. Very nice. Wasted Years and Aces High on the B-side here. Very nice. Same ones as your CD single, Harrison?
Wasted Years and Aces High, yes.
The Trooper, also picture disc. Featuring Live 2003 and Murders in the Rue Morgue Live 2005. Not the first Bruce Dickinson B-side of Murders in the Rue Morgue, as we saw another one on the Running Free single. And as we all know, there's another single that you must acquire in addition to the vinyl and the CD to get all the versions of the Trooper, and that was the download only Live in Reykjavik live version of the Trooper. Did I say that right?
You're asking us.
Wicker Man single. What I don't like is how it's never, you can never get it aligned. So I just stopped trying. You could never get aligned, but I loved this album and this single very, 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 very much. Brilliant live versions of Power Slave and Killers on the B-side here. Great single. And my last bit of Maiden vinyl is my unopened Flight 666.
Did you buy that on a Toronto trip?
No, I bought this at a local store.
Okay. I feel like okay. Must have been something else.
And there it is. This is a great live album too, but
yes. That's beautiful.
There she be. This is sort of like one of those greatest hits tours, you know?
Yep.
Great cover. And still got the sticker on there. Limited edition double picture disc vinyl. And I've never seen the picture discs because that's
never opened it.
Never opened it. Okay. And the only one that I didn't show is my Empire of the Clouds, which I missed when I was going through my vinyl.
That's okay. I showed mine.
Yeah. So we're all good there. We got that covered.
Yeah.
And I think that is that's it for my Maiden vinyl. If we get around to going on another round for me, I will get my action figures.
Round 3. First, I'm going to see if I can just get you a look at my Made in Japan. There it is up on the wall.
Very
Next,
nice.
Afterburner.
Nice.
My favorite ZZ Top album.
I've got
Look, and there's the Goblin King from The Hobbit sitting on his throne. Oh, and Pulse. There's Pulse. You can't really see the flashing, but there's Pulse.
Oh, okay. Yes, I see your CD collection there. Yeah.
There's Pulse. You don't see it as much because I moved the CD collection, but yeah. Anyway,
I have that, but mine doesn't flash anymore.
So round 3.
Yeah,
mine's been flashing since.
Don't want leakage.
Mine's been flashing since like May 2020 when I bought it or something. Same set of batteries. I don't know. Batteries these days must be a lot better than back then because I think it was quoted at 6 months back then.
Yeah.
But all right, so I'm going to show off this.
Yes.
I'm very surprised you managed to pick it out next to Menasor the last time I was on because it was literally just like this tan blob that high on the back of my screen.
So that's the Super 7 blind box. You can only get that by buying and opening a blind box.
His arse is peculiarly round. I never noticed that. Anyway.
And we've reached that point of the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. I ended up with 3 of those.
Anita, that's what she said from you.
Oh, that's what she said.
Yeah.
You know.
Anyway, so time for my last round of CDs. So this, again, made in Japan. This is a bootleg soundboard from the night after, I think. The inserts and all, the picture disc is really cool. But the inserts and everything are just, take scans of the actual album. It's got the full show from the night after, except I've got The Fire is also included from Live at the Marquee, but it's not specified to be from Live at the Marquee. There's a rare performance of Strange World here, which is probably the rarest track here. There's a guitar solo for Dave Murray at the end of Transylvania, like he does on Beast of a Hammersmith as well. And there's a did I say drum solo or guitar solo for Dave?
Well, you
said guitar solo.
Excellent, good. And there's a drum solo for Clive Burr in Another Life, which halfway through the song, Diano just introduces Mr. Clive Burr on drums.
Which is something that Maiden would never do today, drum solos and guitar solos. Never. When was the last time, Harrison, that they did a feature guitar solo or drum solo? Was it
I believe the infamous Mission from Ari, Power Slave.
Yeah, Peace of Mind
Power Slave, Peace of Mind, yes.
Yep.
Yes, that's as far as I know. There might have been some impromptu something done during like a tech malfunction at some point, but I have no.
Yeah, that doesn't count. Yeah, it's
that doesn't
part of it has to be a part of the planned set.
Yes. So speaking of Beast of a Hammersmith, like more than 5 or 6 years ago now, I just bought this separate, The Beast of Hammersmith, because I wanted it. Really cool show. I wish the DVD version from the early days included the whole show, not half the show. Funny story, I was listening to Virtual 11 when this came in the mail. I actually paused Virtual 11 to go outside and get this, and then I resumed Virtual 11, finished Virtual 11, and then I put this on.
Of course, you have to.
That is living correctly.
You can't
sir.
stop listening to an album.
No.
You can't listen to an album and then stop and then listen to another album.
Yes, especially if it's one like Virtual 11. Anyway, so just very recently, in fact, just Thursday, these other two arrived, but I thought it was finally about time to complete the set.
There it is, best of the B-sides.
Yeah, the case is busted up, but yeah, I'll just get a new case for it. Got some cool songs on here. It's more their covers and their studio B-sides. Not as many of the live ones are included. Massacre's left off for some inexplicable reason, which is a shame, because that's a really good cover.
Yeah, and they also left off...
yeah. The discs are in pristine condition. Yeah, I Live My Way. Yeah, you're right as well. The discs are in pristine condition, but the case has seen better days.
So I kind of have a question here, and this may be a stupid question, but where are these coming from? Are they coming from people who split up their Eddie's Archive box set and sold the discs separately?
Presumably, I went on. I don't know what I bought. Beast of Hammersmith on eBay 6 years ago, just on its own, and yeah, I just recently went on eBay and found a seller from Denmark who had BBC archives and he had like lots of different copies of these 3 discs, and I bought just BBC archives and best of the B-sides from him. And yep, speaking of
That's how I got mine too.
There it is.
Yeah. That's how I got mine too. I think I have all those.
Yeah, so I own the complete Eddie's Archive set without actually owning Eddie's Archive.
Hold on a second.
You know, since you mentioned Denmark, I should mention my pal Thor in Denmark sent me a picture last year that I didn't know existed. And apparently I was quoted in an Iron Maiden book from one of my reviews from my Iron Maiden review series. And I cannot remember any of the details. I think the book was in Danish. But I wish I had a screenshot of where I was quoted in this Iron Maiden book. So I'm proud to have been quoted in an Iron Maiden book somewhere in Denmark.
That's really cool.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Hey, so I've been published twice now. I've been published in Tim's book, Unspooled, and I've been published in an Iron Maiden book. The book is Brave New World, and I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, by Stefan Joras. I wasn't aware of this book. At least I can't remember him contacting me or anything like that. So I don't know if he asked me if he could use my reviews. I assume he probably did, and I forgot about it. Either way, I'm just really flattered to be in the book. Like, I'm in an Iron Maiden book.
I forgot to mention, this one just recently got a reissue on vinyl.
On vinyl, yes. Deke was very excited. 3 records, I believe.
So it turns out I only have this one.
Okay. That's a good one, though.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. My case isn't broken if you want to trade.
No, I can easily buy some not blank cases, but spare cases from.
Yep, they can be bought online. They can be had. They're not hard to find. They still make them.
Yeah.
So this last thing I have to show off. This is the reason we're doing, or the impetus for me asking for this show. It is an incredibly obscure thing. It's not Iron Maiden, but it is Maiden adjacent. I'd be very surprised if you'd both actually recognize what this is, but at the same time, if Mike did, I would not be surprised, because that's just Mike. Do you know what this is?
Well, they're obviously spoofing the Peace of Mind cover.
This is an Iron Maiden tribute album. The band is called Food for Thought, and depending on which side of the spine you look at, the album's either called What Are We Doing This For? Or Now That's What I Call Kin Music. And what this is, it's a couple of Swedish guys, as well as a handful of guest Swedish musicians, and they're covering all Iron Maiden songs, obviously, but they're covering them not like you'd expect. Basically, they do them in all different styles. So Twilight Zone is jazzy with horns. There's some ballady takes on a fair few of them. There's a minute of The Mercenary done in the style of the Bee Gees before it's kicked into gear by a heavy metal shanty-esque version of The Trooper. One one of my personal favorites is Fortunes of War, done in an 8-bit Nintendo style.
Oh.
And the incredibly jazzy Blood on the World's Hands, which also includes a cameo by Joe Yowza for some scatting, which I think you'll find critics of the song will agree was exactly what it was missing. There's Wildest Dreams, as if done by Motorhead.
That would actually be okay.
Yeah. There's Future Real, done in the style of AC/DC with a really good Bon Scott impersonator that is really one of the highlights of the disc. It's such a good take on the song. There's they even cover stuff like Burning Ambition on here, which is not something you'd see on a regular Maiden tribute album. It's such a really, really fun listen.
Wow. That's something, Harrison.
Yeah, it's from 2003. Just these Swedish guys got together. Henrik Johansson and Matthias, that's Vibe Merchant Reinholdsson. Those are the producers.
In 2003, Wildest Dreams would have been brand new.
Yeah, front cover artwork by Erik Gustafsson. Yeah, I actually like what they've done with the disc here. Let me just put it the right way up. It's similar. It's not a picture disc, but I really do like how they've done it.
That is really nice. Yeah, the nice,
like a line drawing of the cover. Yeah.
Very clean. Yeah, I like it.
This is an amazingly fun listen. I love putting this one off. Jazzy Iron Maiden, Motorhead Iron Maiden, Bee Gees Iron Maiden, AC/DC Iron Maiden. It's great fun.
Some of those don't sound like they should work.
No,
the Bee Gees one surprisingly does.
Well, take your word for it. Even though you're
the jazzy ones really work. But yeah, then again, I listen to Virtual 11 instead of Beast Over Hammersmith. So can you really trust what I say?
I'm glad to have my own built-in contrarian on this show. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Anyway, that is all I have for this show. So I will throw it back to Aaron now.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I'm not thinking I would be able to sit through the entire 8-bit track. I think I would.
Well, it's not the entire song. It's only like 3 minutes. Like it's like a truncated.
3 minutes is still a lot. So you guys have probably seen these already. I think, Mike, you even have one. I framed it. This is the menu.
Yeah, I have it somewhere. I do.
This is the menu from the ACC, the Air Canada Centre, when we went to see Iron Maiden for Book of Souls.
That's
2016.
crazy.
Is there heart on there?
Yeah, that's what that is. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that Can I order that?
No.
Does the Walk on Eddie come and deliver it to me?
I think it was $30, but I had the classic double cheeseburger, which wasn't bad. But that's a whole story, actually. I think I told that before about how there's another side too. But we had tickets and they were at the back of the bowl, so the band was going to be this big. Yeah. And then one of the guys we went with had a buddy that was working there in the kitchen of the restaurant that was just above the crowd. And he came and got us and took us up, and we had railing seats overlooking the crowd. The band was still this big, but we had our own bathroom in the restaurant. We had table service. He brought us a free appetizer just to say, hey, cool, thanks for coming. And it was, just made the experience so much better. And I have here, you were just talking about these, Harrison. I have my hardcover. I have my Book of Souls. Well, I have my Book of Souls edition.
That's the first time I've seen the Book of Souls track list, I think, in all one go without the disc breaks. I think. It's been a while since I looked at the back of the Book of Souls. Is it just like that, or is it split by disc? Or
that's the same as mine.
I don't know. I don't have. Yeah. This is my only copy of the album.
Sorry, I've got.
Yeah, me too.
I don't have that album.
I have that one, Book of Souls Live and Senjutsu all in the same.
Oh no, it's exactly the same. I thought they broke it up.
Okay. Yeah, and I have the live chapter that goes with it.
Yeah.
In the hardcover book.
I don't see a point in buying two copies. Get one or the other, and you're happy. Unless you want vinyl as well.
Yeah. Sorry to derail you, but just on the topic of live chapter, you see, there's the Book of Souls and there's live chapter. Now you see The Book of Souls is written in white.
Yeah, it bugs you.
But here it's written in red, and the word live chapter is written in white.
Yes.
I know.
When it should be the other way around.
Harrison, they don't care about us.
No. I got to tell you, I have a book series that I've been reading, and she's put out about 7 books, and they were all white, and all, like the covers were all hardcover. They were white, they all lined up, they matched, and then like the 7th book that she put out, it's bright freaking yellow, and it's the same size.
In Jen's DVD collection, she was collecting every year. She got the Simpsons seasons for Christmas.
Yeah.
And she had like the first 8 seasons. They're all beautiful, kind of like shiny book, like very, very colorful. And then they changed the cases to those weird heads.
I know where
and
you're going.
Everybody got so pissed off. Like, this screws up my whole collection. I'm like, but it's kind of cool. It's a cool head. And they're like, these fucking suck. And they did. They got smushed.
When I used to sell them at the thrift shop, they were really hard to shelve, and they often broke because people are animals and everything else. So
even just regular shelfware took its toll.
I also have the hardcover of the Legacy of the Beast.
That one I don't. That one I have jewel case.
Knights of the Dead in Mexico City.
Great album.
Which is a very pretty looking thing with the pictures on the back.
Yeah.
And then I also have, of course, the hardcover Senjutsu. So, and you know what? I've been listening to this.
Me too. And I played it today.
And you know what?
The Parchment. That's my song, man.
Well, that one and oh God, I'm blanking. Oh, of course, on the inside. I said, oh, here, I'll get the track list. It's in frickin' Japanese.
Yeah, good.
What do I know?
My version doesn't even have the track list on the back.
Yeah, it is the Parchment. You're right. Yeah. I loved it when I reviewed it, and I kind of set it aside.
Yeah,
I didn't play it a lot. It's the same thing you're talking about, right? But I played it recently. I was like, yeah, let's go. And the last thing I have, I need your help.
Okay.
This is the last things I have. I only have 3 Iron Maiden vinyls, and you saw one. I have the Empire of the Cloud.
Yeah.
Clouds, plural. I also have 2 copies, original old whatevers, of Number of the Beast.
Nice.
Okay. So I probably just bought them because, right? This one was $4.63 at Dr. Disc when it was sold originally. And it has no liner, but it has the upside down. It has the track list and everything. And then on the back, it just has that in the center. Okay. Now, I think the other one does too, but something in my head told me there was a difference between these two. Now, this next one sold for $9.49 at Zeller's. If you remember Zeller's, Mike.
I would have flipped through those. I would have seen it.
Yeah. And this one has the lyrics.
Okay. Yeah. That's how I remember it.
And then the pictures on the contact sheets.
Yep. That's how I remember it, with the photo strips.
Yeah. And then this one also has.
Okay.
That.
1, 2. Yeah.
And that.
Okay.
So I don't think they're different. I think just this one.
You're missing a piece. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the first one is missing the liner thing. But they're both immaculate. Like they're both.
That's awesome.
They look like they've never been played. And I don't know why anyone would get rid of that, but I mean, maybe it's not. I mean, as far as Iron Maiden albums go, this is like some of their biggest songs are on here, right? Like, like there's the track list if anybody wants to see it.
If anyone doesn't have it committed to memory.
Yeah, forget it.
But yeah, so that I can't see any other discernible difference in the two. Yeah, just this one is in nicer shape, I think, and it's still got the plastic on it even.
Yeah. Is the sticker directly on the vinyl on the left one and on the plastic on the right one, or is it? The price sticker.
The price sticker is directly on the cover of this one.
That's the worst one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
then-
you don't even try to remove the sticker at that point because you're just
No.
recording death.
And this one, if I can get my finger. Oh no, the
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
sticker is on the plastic of this one.
yeah, that's the keeper.
Well, I'm keeping,
Good old
That's the one
Zellers.
that gets framed. And
I'm keeping them both.
Yeah. John Clauser here. We're gonna get him on again, or we're gonna get him on with Spenny, I hope, in the future. But yeah.
Oh, Mike,
Dude,
that's good news.
We saw those 7-inch singles at Sam the Record Man downtown and Dr. Disc downtown, and we basically Bob Shipper bought them all, and I bought them all off Bob Shipper. But there was still a whole bunch that we don't have, so I ended up getting the first 10 years box set on CD. Guys, it has been a pleasure tonight.
Yes.
My voice is starting to go, and it is time for me to call it a night. Jen is in a cab on her way home from the hospital.
Good.
And on that note, we always like to go out on a song. And since Aaron is here, I think there's only one song we can go out on. Don't you agree?
Ace of Spades.
That isn't what I was going to say.
Oh, well.
What's your catchphrase besides Wahoo? What's your catchphrase?
That's what she said.
What's your other catchphrase?
I don't know.
That has a song. There you go.
Yeah, I knew that's
So
what it was.
here it is. It's by T-Bone Erickson, Uncle Meat, and the entire community. This is a song dedicated to that man right there, Aaron. And if you can show up next week, I'd love to have you.
I'll see what I can do.
Awesome. So we'll see you next
Harrison.
week, folks.
Thank you, sir.
So good to see you again, Aaron.
Mike, thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys. Take care. Have a great night. This
Bye,
is
everybody.
Community.
Turn it up.
In the fall of '06, somewhere in the sticks of southern Ontario, we planted a seed, had a yearning need we couldn't get from the stereo. Started out as two and it slowly grew into a passionate fraternity. No matter where I roam, it's always home from here to eternity. It's where we'll thrive with immunity, and it keeps me alive. Community, it's my community. Community, it's my community. So I said, hey Joe, come on, let's go. I hear adventure, it's a calling me. I'm gonna lose control down a rabbit hole in the heart of the big city. We're gonna squash a beetle with a rolling stone and fly the black flag all the way back home. If you eat shit flowers, I ain't got time. Don't matter what we find, it's the glue that binds you, see. It's where we'll thrive with
Hola desde Cuba a la comunidad de Aaron.